Hey, like many folks, it may be that you are considering around the turn of the year uh, what your impact is on the world, what you're going to be doing in the year ahead. And while I think these are valuable questions to ask, I think it's helpful to put them into context sometimes. And one context is that we don't always know and can't measure our impact. For example, about 5 years ago, I finally got around to doing yoga. I found a local studio owned by a man named Michael Zemansky. And Michael created a studio in the garage of his home. He had a few very dedicated students. We were all in our 50s or 60s. A large class had 3 or 4 people in it. We considered it packed if there were 5 in the room. And in some respects, Michael was a bit of an odd duck. He had his points of view on the world, and he'd give us his yoga rants and then lead us through the asanas. And it worked for me. You know, when I started studying with Michael, I wasn't sure it was going to work for me. But I kept going, and I thought, yeah, this really works for me. Well, I studied with Michael for about 3 years, going 2 to 3 times a week. And then suddenly, in April of 2014, Michael started to have seizures and fainting spells. And he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, a very aggressive brain tumor. By August that year, Michael was dead. While Michael was alive and teaching, he used to reflect out loud sometimes that he wondered why his classes weren't more full. He seemed to be questioning his impact on the world. But I'll tell you something. Hardly a day goes by when I don't think about Michael Zemansky. I'll be driving down the road and I'll think of Michael and the gift he gave me of yoga. I'll think about Michael as I'm doing asanas in a yoga practice. I'll think of Michael when I'm petting my cat. I'll think of Michael when I'm cooking my breakfast. He had a profound impact on me, an impact that cannot be measured. And yet he was just this odd duck who had a tiny studio with about 5 middle-aged students. So today I was talking with my beloved friend, Mark Silver, and we were talking about what we're up to, and I was reflecting on my own questions around what I'm doing in the world and if I'm doing enough. And what came to me in that conversation was that it's not the size or the bigness of the game that you're playing that matters. It's the quality of your yes. It's the quality of your engagement. You're saying yes to life. And sometimes what seems to be on offer is huge. And sometimes what's on offer seems to be very small. But Michael Zemansky, for me, modeled a man who said a very large yes to his small life and made a very profound and deep impact on the lives of the people he touched. Another dear friend of mine, Bill Cumming, says, we can never know when the most important conversation in the world is taking place. And I think that's true also. So as you reflect on your work now, on your life, on whether or not you're important, on whether you're having enough of an impact now or in the year ahead, I just offer you these little stories as context. It's not the size of your game, it's the quality of your yes. Take care.